No? Okay. Well, I think sometimes the way
And
she
this,
talks.
and this one, when she went to first grade, she's really not that babyish.
You're right. So but she's still learning, right? Because she's just in first grade, so sometimes she doesn't always use proper grammar. All right. So, why did you choose this book?
Because I read the bag and it was interesting. It started to get interesting because I read Julie B. Jones is sassy, hilarious, and Park. I forgot that what that was.
Which one? Park? Oh, obviously.
Obviously understood.
Understands.
Understands the passage. I think that might be best.
It's hard because this is all covering that. And actually, this is what different publishers said about the book. There isn't the blurb in a hard copy. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the blurb is actually right in the inside. Did you get a chance to read this part?
Yeah.
Did you?
One is getting ready for its family Thanksgiving feast, and whichever class comes up with the best thankful list will win a blue ribbon and a pumpkin pie. Only what do you know? Begin thankful for the right stuff is harder than it looks. Plus, there are so many things that Junie B. is not thankful for, like tall tales, May, and sweater. Oh, pilgrims, costumes, and did Justin
Disgusting. Yeah.
disgusting beast food like squash and
Stewed.
I don't eat the stuff that you
Sounds kind of gross, huh? Stewed onions.
onions and like
Blocky. Block. See, she kind of uses funny words, right? She obviously doesn't like it, like you and I.
even pumpkin pie does. Room one stand a choice in a thankful contest, or will isn't Thanksgiving feast turn into a Turkey Day disaster with over 50 million. I don't really read these like this.
Yeah, that's okay. With over 50 million, I know it's hard when they break up the word like that, so you have to say copies in print.
Copies in print in more than a dozen languages. The Junie B. Jones books have kept kids laughing and reading for 20 years.
20 years? Junie B. Jones book has been going on. Did you even know that?
No.
So a blurb, Tajay, kind of gives you a heads up on what the book's about. Yeah, it gives you information about the book. All right. So tell me what's been going on so far in the book.
So pretty much, she has a friend that really had the same things that she read. Like she had in her list because they was writing a list what you eat for food and for Thanksgiving and why you love it. And they had the same thing, and another friend was jealous because of she didn't have the same thing as she. It's in this page.
So she was jealous. Her friend was jealous that she didn't have the same list as Junie B. had on her list.
Like all two of them, she wanted to be one of them.
Like she wanted to be on Junie B. Jones' list.
Not like be on it, like she wants to be the same, like have the same thing like she did.
Oh, they want to have the same list. Gotcha. Okay. All right. And the list. What does the list contain? What's on the list?
I forgot what's on it.
Okay.
It shows in a story.
A feeling of terror came over Tanyasha. A chill.
The whole new fucking fight. She said she really didn't like the whole new fucking fight because it makes her throw up. Forget.
Came over Tanyasha.
I can't really find it.
We're right in the heat of the moment. Right? The feeling exactly what Chef's feeling.
passed it. I know it's in here.
All right, so this first chapter, let me just look, it says the contest. So the contest is what?
Like,
Who set up the contest?
I didn't read his Mr. Scary, I think.
The teacher?
The teacher.
Okay,
So
So-
began the story by, what should we say?
I think I'm the teacher.
let me just see here.
Cause
Okay,
they-
so who's writing this letter?
Judy.
Junie B. And she's writing in her journal, right? And she's, so, the costumes look hottish and sweaters. This week, room 1 is making a list of the stuff we are thankful for. After we get done, we will put our list in the school contest. And the room with the bestest thankful list
Will
will
win.
win.
So
Okay.
pumpkin pie. And she
Also, we are
said
having a
they don't
Thanksgiving feast. Okay, so they're having a contest, and whoever has the best thankful
win.
list. Okay, now I can get my.
So he really didn't want to tell them what they get, like
Mhm.
because it's a surprise, it's a present. But he told him,
Who told them?
the teacher,
The teacher told them what?
that they get him pumpkin pie for the and nobody liked the pumpkin pie.
Okay. All right, let me see here. Let's figure this out here.
I had to go into like the space.
All right, do me a favor, because you're already up to here. Is that true? You're in the third chapter. All right. So
I
let's.
read up here. Yeah, it is.
All right.
I really don't remember that much stuff from up here.
All right. So why don't we start in the first couple pages and we can talk about it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have you first read silently. All right. So I'm gonna have you read this. And
This?
yeah. Well, we've already kind of read this. Why don't we start here? I closed my journal. Read all the way down. Let's see.
Face to face.
Yeah, let's just go up to like here, happy, and with happy. Does that sound good? And I'm gonna read with you, so just share the book with you. You can read silently, okay?
Yeah, what did you write?
Yes. Because the author begins with the same feeling of spirit, made me think that sex is scared, so I want to keep reading to see what happens.
Absolutely, it's that suspense, right? You're in that moment of suspense. You go, did you get it? Oh, do I know? Oh, you were looking at that? Oh. How old did you write? You wanted to keep reading?
I think we should do that.
And was it because you were in that suspense and you wanted to find out what happened next? You don't think like that. You wanted to find out what happened next. How did you think that? Because we're gonna wait for the next questions till we read all the way through chapter 4. We're still gonna focus on summarizing.
All right. So tell me what that was about.
Pretty much, it was like the contest and like stuff. Like pretty much that's all it was. Like the contest. She was
Okay.
just talking about the contest and stuff.
Okay. So tell me in detail about what that part was about, though. Be more specific than just saying it was about the contest.
I forgot. I really forgot.
Okay.
But I remember it was about the contest.
Tell me about the contest.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I was kept on reading when I was.
All right. So I want to show you something. Okay. So let's go back to that page. All right.
It says,
So.
I closed my journal and thought about squash. Luck. Hates. I said out loud, I hate squash. Made it a frown.
Okay, so stop right there. Let's just stop. A lot of times when I tell kids if they forget what they read, I have them read like as big as their hand. Your hand's almost as big, the same, probably about the same as mine, right? So tell kids read about that much and then cover it up and see if you can remember. You want to try that strategy? All right. So let's just read this again. You want me to show you? You want me to do it first? All right. So I'm gonna read this part. I closed my journal and thought about squash. What? I said out loud. I hate squash. May did a frown. Shush, Junie Jones. Can't you see that I'm still writing? So I'm gonna cover it up. I'm gonna think. Okay, now I'm gonna retell you what that is about. So she got to a part in her journal, and it said about the squash part, and Junie obviously does not like squash. And May, who must be a student in her classroom, I'm inferring that, right? Said, shh, because she's still writing. Okay, let's see how did I do?
I closed my journal and thought about squash.
Okay, so I got that part right, because I said it was about squash. Flock, I said out loud. I hate squash. May did a frown. Shush, Junie Jones. Can't you see that I am still writing, she said. Okay, now I'm just going to keep
She
reading.
is ready.
She is, yeah, she was. May is the girl who sits next to me. Oh, so that confirms what I was thinking. Was she a girl in the classroom then? Yeah. So, this is your tip for the day, okay? I want you just to try and read this much and try and remember, because you know what, Taijay? It's very normal to forget.
Because you keep on reading.
Yeah, and the stuff keeps coming at you, right? It's a great strategy that I've seen kids use, and actually when I was a kid, I had to use that too, because I would forget, because I wasn't thinking about what I was reading. When you're thinking, or when you're reading, sometimes
You forget.
you forget. So you got to be thinking while you're reading at the same time. You think you can try that strategy? Think it might help you? Okay. So I'm going to write it on a goal for you, a goal sheet. Okay. So I brought this today. It's nice and big. That way you can't lose it. Okay. And so I'm going to write on here to read. Cover. It's called read, cover, remember, retell. It's got a lot of R's in it. Read, cover, remember, retell. Okay, that's the order. What do you like for it to be called? Do you have another name for it?
No.
Is that a good one? So read, cover, remember, retell.
R-C-O-R.
It's got a lot of R's in there. Read, cover, remember, retell. Okay, and it's a great strategy for kids that forget what they're reading. That's very normal. That's okay. Okay, I think you picked out a great Just Right book. I like that you like Junie Jones. It's funny. You can connect to it because it's things that's happening sometimes in real life, right? She's in a classroom writing in a journal. Well, you have to do that in school, right? So some of the same stuff that you're doing, you can really connect to. Another thing I noticed that you did really well is your fluency was really good. You weren't too slow. It wasn't like you were robotic. Close my journal. You didn't read like that. You read with some nice fluency. One tip I would give you when you're reading when you're working on your fluency and reading out loud. Not break it up. Pay attention to your punctuation, because sometimes when I noticed when you were reading, you kind of just kept going and you kind of passed the punctuation, you didn't pause. So like for example here, May did a frown. Shush, Junie Jones. Now, that's an exclamation mark. So am I going to sound different when I...
Yes,
I'm going to sound different, right?
She's louder.
She's louder and she's going to, enunciate her words. So she's going to, shush, Junie Jones.
I closed my journal and I thought about squash. Look, I said out loud, I hate squash.
Okay, stop right there. That was beautiful. Just that, I heard your voice coming through with the character talking. And that was going to be my next tip, but you already did it. And you know why that helps? It'll help you remember. It will help you remember the story, and so when you talk like the characters are meant to be spoken, you're going to remember the story better. It creates this like mini movie in your head, because there's no pictures, right? In a chapter book, there's some in Junie B. Jones, but not many. So who's got to create the picture? You do. And you've got to be a good reader and read fluently in order to do that. Okay? I really enjoyed reading with you today. Can I do that again? I love it, because I want to come in, check, and see how you did. Now you're on chapter 3. When do you think you'll be done with the book?
I don't know.
It's pretty thick book. Let's see how many pages you have. It's over 100 pages, yeah. But you're on chapter 3, which is what page? Let's see what page that is.
25.
25. So you're about a quarter way through the book. So you're about 1/4. You think of the book is broken up into fourths.
So if
you've got 3/4 left.
So pretty much, if I read another chapter, it'd be 50.
Well, how long did it take you to read to chapter 3? How long have you had the book?
I had it for a couple of days when I kind of stopped reading it after a while, because I do a lot of work at school.
Yeah, I know. Too bad we can't read all day. That would be my goal as your literacy coach. I would love for you to read all day long, but you got to do math. math and social studies and science. But can you bring this, is Mr. Kip allowing you to bring this book home? Yeah, so if you bring it home, I bet you could finish it by next week. That should be your goal, to try and finish it by next week, okay? Alright, did a great job. Thanks, Beth. Alright, so, when you're coming over here, you're gonna be reading Just Right books. And